that fraction of a second where a racing engine cuts power, unburnt fuel detonates in the exhaust, and the dog box slams into the next gear under full throttle is absolute automotive perfection. Today, we are diving into the engineering and the stories behind 10 of the most violent gear cut sounds ever captured on camera. First things first, turn your volume up, but if you're wearing headphones, consider this your official warning because some of these clips are violently loud. Before we drop the first clip, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment right now with your absolute favorite car sound of all time. Let's get straight into it. Number 10, Honda Civic Type R TCR. Starting at number 10 is the Honda Civic Type R TCR. While standard road-going Type Rs use a quiet synchronized manual, this global touring car is a pure motorsport weapon. It runs a bespoke Sedev 6-speed sequential dog box. Because it utilizes straight-cut racing gears, it produces a distinct mechanical scream that climbs perfectly alongside the turbocharged VTEC engine note, followed by a crisp electronic ignition cut on the straightaways. Number 9, 2004 BMW M3 E46 GTR. Number 9 is a car born out of pure motorsport defiance, the legendary 2004 BMW M3 GTR. After Porsche effectively forced this car out of American racing by pushing for a rule change, BMW took their bespoke 4-litre P60 V8 monster over to Europe to conquer the grueling Nürburgring 24 hours. What makes its soundtrack a masterpiece is the intense contrast between that deep V8 roar and the deafening high-pitched scream of its straight-cut Hewland sequential dog box. When the driver pulls back on the mechanical lever, a load sensor cuts the spark for a split second, causing a heavy metallic clunk that echoed through the Eiffel Forest during its back-to-back victories in 2004 and 2005. Number 8, Porsche 911 GT3R 992. This car actually has one of my most favourite car sounds because of how screamy and loud it is, and it's just amazing to hear. Number 8 takes us inside the modern GT3 grid with the 992 generation Porsche GT3R. To eliminate human error and save weight on long endurance stints, modern GT3 cars have completely abandoned physical mechanical shift linkages. Instead, they use a high-tech pneumatic air shifter system. When the driver pulls the steering wheel paddle, a blast of compressed air fires an actuator indirectly inside the gearbox. Combined with a razor-sharp ignition cut at 9,000 RPM, it sounds like a pneumatic rifle firing inside the cockpit. Number 7. BMW M3 E30 DTM. Number 7 takes us back to the golden era of touring cars with the E30 M3 DTM. The road-going version of this car is a highly sought-after classic with a quiet dogleg manual, but the pure track version ran a specialized non-synchronized Xtrac racing box with straight-cut gears. Under wide open throttle, the sheer friction of the flat-faced gear teeth creates a mechanical wall of sound inside the stripped-out cabin, interrupted only by a razor-sharp ignition cut as the driver bangs through the gears. Number 6. Ford Mustang GT Gen 3 Supercars. Number 6 brings us down under to the Australian Supercars Championship with the Gen 3 Ford Mustang. If you buy the road car, you get a 10-speed automatic or a quiet 6-speed manual. But this grid weapon swaps all of that out for a bespoke $30,000 Xtrac 6-speed sequential transaxle mounted in the rear. It uses straight-cut gears and a physical floor-mounted lever that the driver has to violently slam into place, creating the iconic jet-like Australian V8 whine. Number 5. Mazda 787B. Number 5 takes us back to 1991, when Mazda shocked the world by winning the 24 Hours of Le Mans with the rotary-powered 787B. When a naturally aspirated 4-rotor engine is screaming towards its 9,000 plus RPM red line, the exhaust pulses are moving so fast they create a solid wall of sound. The exact moment the flat shift system cuts the ignition to change gears, that high-pitched rotary shriek drops out completely for a microsecond before instantly screaming again, creating an iconic sci-fi laser effect. Number 4. 1993 BMW M3 E36 GTR. Number 4 brings us to the grandfather of straight-cut dominance, the 1993 BMW M3 E36 GTR. Long before the V8 E46 arrived, BMW built this ultra-rare wide-body inline-six weapon to decimate the German ADAC GT Cup. To handle the track abuse, it threw out the road car's synchronized box for a pure motorsport Hollinger 6-speed sequential transmission. The flat-faced teeth of the straight-cut gears create a constant, high-pitched mechanical wire inside the completely stripped cabin, punctuated by a harsh electronic ignition cut every single time the driver yanks back on the shifter. Number 3. Audi Sport Quattro S1 E2. Number 3 takes us back to the peak of the dangerous Group B rally era. In 1985, Audi introduced the S1 E2, a car that pioneered extreme aerodynamics and a top-secret dual-clutch precursor known as the Sportotech transmission. It allowed the legendary inline 5-cylinder turbo engine to switch gears without ever dropping boost pressure. The mechanical byproduct of these heavy straight-cut teeth engaging is a brutal thunk crack that sounds like structural damage, perfectly complementing the iconic 5-cylinder warble. Number 2. Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR. Number 2 is one of the ultimate GT1 homologation specials ever designed. Developed by Mercedes in just 128 days to battle the McLaren F1, it features a mid-mounted, naturally aspirated 6.9-litre V12. Because the racing sequential transaxle is bolted directly to the central carbon monocoque chassis with zero rubber bushings, every single gear change reverberates right through the driver's spine. It is a raw, mechanical sledgehammer of a shift that abruptly interrupts a V12 masterpiece. Georg Plasa's Judd V8 BMW E82 134. And finally, at number 1, the undisputed king of motorsport audio, the late Georg Plasa's Judd V8 swapped BMW E82 at 134. Plasa took a custom carbon composite silhouette BMW body and stuffed a 4-litre Formula 1 derived Judd V8 engine right into the front bay, singing all the way to a staggering 11,000 RPM. It routes power through a racing sequential box with incredibly aggressive straight-cut gears. Because it's a closed cockpit, the transmission whine inside the cabin sounds like a literal fighter jet, while the pneumatic gear cuts happen so blindingly fast they manifest as pure acoustic whip cracks. From high-tech pneumatic systems to raw mechanical dog boxes, nothing beats a perfect gear cut. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the audio, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss the next automotive breakdown, and comment down below which car on this list was your absolute favourite. Welcome to Revlord, where we roar with authority. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ever wonder what a jet engine sounds like stuff inside a race car? Last time we checked out 10 iconic cars with straight cut gearboxes, but you wanted more. Standard street cars use curved helical gears for quiet operation, but straight cut spur gears hit tooth to tooth all at once. That creates zero actual thrust load, handles massive shock loads, and produces an ear-splitting transmission whine. Before we jump into 10 more cars with the most insane gear whine ever recorded, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. What is your all-time favourite car sound? This is Revlord, where we roar with authority. Let's get into it. Number 10, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 9 WTAC, also known as the Cyber Evo. pushing over 800 horsepower through an all-wheel drive Timertech Evo. Stock helical gears will shred under the torque load. The world champion Cyber Evo swapped in a full PPG straight cut dog engagement gear set. Under full boost, the transmission whine reaches such a high pitch it sounds more like a jet turbine than a 4-cylinder car. Number 9. Dodge Viper GTS-R. Taming an 8-litre V10 requires a transmission built like an absolute tank. Orca fitted the GT1 Viper GTS-R with a heavy-duty Hollinger straight-cut sequential gearbox. On track, the massive V10 torque load forces the straight gear teeth together with immense pressure, creating a brutal mechanical gear whine. Number 8. Peugeot 205 T16. Peugeot's mid-engine Group B legend used a TJ5-speed straight-cut dog box, mounted transversely behind the cockpit. Because the flat-faced straight teeth take the full force of the mid-mounted turbo engine, the gearbox creates an unmistakable mechanical screech every time the driver slams through the gears. Number 7. Nissan Skyline GTR R32 JTC Sequential Sonic. Godzilla didn't just dominate Japanese touring cars with all-wheel drive, it ran a non-synchromesh Xtrac straight-cut transmission to handle track abuse. As the twin-turbo RB26 engine climbs past 8,000 RPM, the straight-cut primary gears creates a high-frequency screech that defined 90s Japanese motorsport. Number 6. Aston Martin Vantage GTE. Modern GT racing still relies heavily on straight cut setups for maximum power transfer and efficiency. The Vantage GTE routes its twin-turbo V8 through a heavy-duty Xtrac sequential dog box. The resulting straight-cut gear howl is so loud on full throttle straightaway runs that it cuts directly through the roaring V8 exhaust note. Number 5. Classic Mini Cooper S Rally Spec. Mr. Bean might have made it famous for doing the grocery run, but in rally spec this tiny legend is pure noise, because classic rally minis run straight cut drop gears mounted directly inside the engine's oil sump. There is zero sound deadening between the transmission and the driver. The result is a high frequency whine so loud it sounds like sitting inside a fighter jet engine. Number 4. Subaru Impreza WRC 99. Made world famous by the legend Colin O'Gray, Subaru's late 90s WRC machines ran an electro-hydraulic Xtrac sequential transmission packed with straight-cut gears. Inside the stripped-out uninsulated cockpit, the mechanical howl from the gear set completely drowns out the exhaust note, blending with anti-lag pops and turbo whistle into pure rally gold. Number 3. Chevrolet Corvette C6R. The GT1 spec C6R delivered one of the greatest dual-tone sound profiles in endurance racing. Down low you have a deep earth-shaking 7-litre American V8 rumble, but up top, its Xtrac 6-speed straight-cut sequential gearbox adds a screaming metallic layer that completely takes over the interior audio every time the driver lifts off the throttle. Lancia Delta S4. Group B was pure motorsport madness, and the Delta S4 took it to another level. Lancia paired a supercharger and a turbocharger to an all-wheel drive straight-cut 5-speed Hewland transmission. Because the gear teeth slapped together under brutal torque spikes on gravel and snow, the piercing gear whine cut straight through the twin-charged engine note. Number 1. Ford Sierra RS 500 Cosworth. Had over 500 horsepower from its massive Garrett turbocharger without flexing or braking. British touring car RS 500 is just as standard synchromesh road car transmissions for a heavy-duty straight-cut Hollinger dog box. In the cabin, the high-pitched gear teeth whining under full load rivals the turbo flutter itself, making this 80s icon sound completely unhinged down every straight. From Group B rally monsters to screaming GT1 endurance races, nothing beats the raw mechanical chaos of straight-cut gears. Which of these 10 machines had the ultimate gear whine? Drop your pick in the comments below. If you enjoyed this lineup, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. This is Revlord, where we roar with authority. See you in the next video. Forget quiet, smooth helical gears. Race cars run straight-cut spur gears that slam face-to-face with zero angle to transfer pure horsepower straight to the tarmac. The trade-off? Unfiltered, ear-shattering mechanical violence. Before we launch, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below what your absolute favourite car sound is. Welcome to part 3 of straight-cut gears. This is Revlord, where we roar with authority. Number 10. Bentley Continental GT3, 2nd gen. Bentley ripped the luxury out of a 2-ton monster and bolted a 6-speed Riccardi sequential transaxle directly to the rear subframe. Pushing a massive 700 Nm of torque, the twin-turbo V8 brings the muscle, but those straight-cut spur gears unleash a deep metallic whine that completely dominates the carbon cockpit. Number 9. Renault Maxi Megane. In the wild 1990 Super 2000 rally era, front-wheel drive kit cars had to squeeze out every drop of power. Renault's weapon, an ultra-tight ratio 7-speed Hewland dog box. Screaming past 9,000 RPM, the driver is banging through gears constantly, creating a non-stop high-pitched transmission scream that never quits.
Opens 50, long right 4 and left 5, 250, right 4 plus, 100.
Number 8. Mercedes C600 V12 Turbo, Armand Oliver Custom. Drift legend Armand Oliver shoved a twin-turbo 6-litre M120 V12 into a humble W202 chassis. To handle 900 Nm of tyre shredding torque, he backed it with a custom straight-cut manual box. The transmission whine is so insanely harsh, it actually overpowers the twin-turbo V12 on high-angle entries. Number 7. Holden Commodore VF Supercar. Australia's Supercars Championship is pure stock car insanity. Driven by a standard Xtrac 6-speed sequential with straight-cut dog rings, Drivers slam clutchless flat-out shifts, producing the iconic high-pitched mechanical siren that supercars' interior cams are famous for.
Coming at them. At the moment, he's back to 6.5 seconds behind.
Remember, we had an FPR 1-2 in the race yesterday. At the moment, it's an HRT 1-2 of Tander and Courtney. You have to go back to Sandown 2009 to find the last time that the Holden Racing team were 1 and 2. Garth Tander and Will Davison that day.
Number 6. Aston Martin Vulcan. Horsepower from naturally aspirated 7-litre V12, routing straight through a magnesium-cased Xtrac mid-mountain sequential. With zero sound deadening, that track-focused gear whine hits a razor-sharp frequency, under heavy trail braking that will give you goosebumps. Number 5. Sauber Mercedes C9. Hitting an incredible 400 kilometers down the Mulsanne straight at Le Mans, the Sauber C9 is an absolute legend. To survive 810 Nm of twin-turbo V8 strain, Mercedes fitted a heavy-duty Hewland 5-speed manual. At top speed, the gear chatter and thermal whine combine into a deafening, terrifying roar. turbo Mercedes C11. The carbon monocoque successor to the C9 brought a stiffer chassis and an even louder cabin. With upgraded wheel and gear meshing tolerances, the C11's transmission scheme is higher, sharper, and noticeably more aggressive on the full boost. Number 3. A Polo Intensa Emotion. Built as an antidote to modern, muted hypercars, the Polo RE uses a pneumatic Hewland 6-speed sequential, bolted straight to the tub. Every single tooth impact echoes through the chassis, making the 6.3-litre V12 sound less like a car and more like a jet turbine on the track. This car is also one of my most favourite cars of all time, as I think it's one of the best looking cars in the world. Number 2. Williams FW14B. Nigel Mansell's 1992 Formula 1 tech powerhouse was pure mechanical aggression. A skimming 15,000 RPM Renault V10 passing power through straight-cut transfer and drive gears creates an ultra-high frequency metallic whine that slices through the exhaust note. Pagani Zonda R. The undisputed king of straight-cut violence, Pagani encased an Xtrac 6-speed sequential in magnesium and bolted it directly to the carbon titanium chassis. With 0 isolation mounts, the gear whine is so raw, brutal and instant, it physically drowns out the 750 horsepower AMG V12 right behind your head. That is my ranking of the 10 most violent straight-cut gear sounds on Earth. From high-revving rally kit cars and legendary Group C monsters to an ear-shattering Formula 1 machine, nothing compares to the pure unfiltered noise of raw transmission whine. If you love this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you never miss an upload, and comment down below right now with your ultimate favourite straight-cut sound of all time. This is Revlord, where we roar with authority. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.